born November the 28th, 1920. He was the sixth son of John Milam Johnston and Gypsy Mab Turney Johnston. He passed away December the 28th, 2014. Mother was born September the 18th, 1925. She was the eighth child of Albert Oliver Bloxham and Edna Emma Eugene Thompson Bloxham. She died, I already said that, no. She died July the 12th, 2018. They had two children. My brother Ted, who passed away, has already passed. He was their beloved son. They thought so much of Ted. And then I'm the daughter. They had 10 grandchildren, 28 great-grandchildren, and then some great-great-grandchildren. I can't remember how many. And they loved their children and grandchildren. They served. They did everything they could for Ted and me, and they do the same for the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren. Dad served went to war in World War II, started World War II, and he loved the service. We traveled for a few years after. Oh, and he also was in the Korean conflict. No, World War.
You're right,
Korea. But I had to learn to make a military bed. If I didn't do that and it wouldn't bounce, I was in trouble. So I get mad at my husband because he won't make the bed up in the morning. Mama was a Rebecca. She loved clubs. And she loved her family. Both my parents loved their family. We always, at any holiday or any occasion, anybody's birthday or anything, we'd get together. And I still like to do that because I can remember being with Ruby May out at White Sands, sliding down the hill, hunting Easter eggs and having sand in.
The horse rides?
Yeah. Yeah, we'd go to Aunt Ruby's and Uncle Calloway's house. Mom and Ruby would cook. Uncle Calloway would say, "You know where the horses are, Ruby May. Go get them." Well, we'd put the saddle on the horse, and by the time we rode it back and forth across the highway, back to the barn, we'd walk it to somewhere and then get on it and then ride back to the barn because it knew the way to the barn because that's where the hay was. I was riding one time and Dad said, "Be careful, Sharon Ann," and I said, "Oh, it's fine, Dad." And the horse, I guess, had been bloated. And when I was riding, everybody had ridden 100 times, and when I was riding, I slid under the horse. My feet were sticking up in the air, and I saw the horse's mouth right in front of me. And Dad came running out, and Ruby and Mama came running out to try to catch the horse before it went into the barn and started eating. And I had just fell off the horse. And I said, "Hello, horse." But we had so much fun with relatives. We'd go to California and have Christmas parties. of course, unfortunately, my uncles and my dad would always get in some kind of fight if it wasn't one thing or another. One uncle carried a thesaurus around him with him. So if Dad said something or one of the other brothers said something, my uncle could correct him. My grandfather would just sit there and smile, and he didn't see. He was blind. He never saw any of his children. And he'd get enough of them arguing and fighting, and he'd stand up and he'd say, "That's enough, boys." And that'd be the end of it. I'd say, "Dad, how come you do that?" And he says, when Papa spoke, everybody listens. Dad and Mom moved from Cruces to Elephant Butte. And I told him, "I'm mad at you because you waited until I was married and moved off before you got a place on the lake." But we spent plenty of time up there with them. My kids would go 2 weeks vacation, and Scott and Brian were raised there for parts of their lives. And they dearly loved the time with them. They raised Tammy. She was in the house all of the time after she was born. They just dearly loved their grandchildren. They moved from TRC to Hops. I couldn't get them to move in the house with me. They said, "No way," because Mom had taken care of Granny. And Daddy moved his mother in with us, with Mom and Dad. And she said, "I ain't doing that to you, Sharon." She said, "We're going to go into a home." And they loved their home. They had Desert Gardens. They had 2 rooms, and they wanted us over there all the time. They just dearly loved when Brady's kindergarten class would come and do things. I wish they would have kept it up in grade school too. Is that a hummingbird? Mama loved hummingbirds. She had hummingbird feeders all the time, and Darla and Andrew gave her one this last year to put out. She was on the ground floor, and she could sit and lay in her bed and watch the hummingbirds come. I want to thank you for coming. Mama loved all of you. Dad was a little league coach for Ted. He started it with Ted. Then after Ted went into Pony League, Dad kept coaching Little League. I knew every kid and every boy in the whole Del Bellum area because they were on Dad's team. And then Ted started boxing, and Rocky's father trained him, and Dad built an area where he could go and Ted could box. Donnie and David went out there one time and hurt their knuckles using Ted's thing. But Ted got to go to the Nationals. He won state and got to go to the Nationals, and Dad went right with him. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go, and Mom didn't either. She stayed with me because I was in tennis and had tennis tournaments. But they took me and the 5 other girls to Lansing, Michigan for national tennis tournament. We had lots of fun, but we got beat. But it was an unusual trip. One of the girls that was my age, she was an Indian Negro, and we got bumped out of a lot of restaurants because of she was with us. But Dad would always go in first, but he'd get tired and forget to go ask if it was all right for her to come in. The last one we went to, when they bumped us out, I was a naughty girl. I shot the finger to the man. It just irritated me to no end because my dad had taught me never to be prejudiced, that everyone was equal, and that family was great. And I'm so grateful for all of you to come out today. Dad and Mom would appreciate it. I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Anyone else would like to come forward?
Brian Scott,
Anyone likes to?
Mama's being buried with Dad, and Daddy's being buried with his brother, Horace. And Uncle Burrow's still here. And Granny's up there.
If there's anyone that would like to
That concludes the service. Again, I appreciate you all for coming.
Is there anything you all want to place in there before we seal the vault?
And then we'll have a prayer at the, by Kathy on the prayer. President of the United States honor, and a grateful nation. Please accept this flag as a symbol of our appreciation for a level of honorable and faithful service.
On behalf of Marine Corps Honor Guard, I'd like to present you this card. Sign all the guard members. Special control center. I want you to present you spent casings from the 3 volleys fired. And now, the one's faithful service to our country, sir. Okay, those 2 men and family members.
Yeah, thank you. Danny Howard. Yeah.
I really thought I was in for this day to come and to honor and remember wonderful parents, grandparents, family members. We're so thankful for the opportunities that we have to spend with them and feel their love. Yes, so place a special blessing on each and every person that loved and knew them, that they will find peace and hold on to the memories of them. I thank thee for the pen of salvation and the comfort it brings us, that we can be together as families again. We ask for blessings on the troubled hearts, to take the memories and to hold them close to them. And we ask for blessings as we travel our separate ways, and no harm will come upon us. We say these things in Jesus Christ. Amen.
Dad was born November the 28th, 1920. He was the 6th son of John Milam Johnston and Gypsy Mab Turney Johnston. He passed away December the 28th, 2014. Mother was born September the 18th, 25. She was the sixth child, no, eighth child of Albert Oliver Bloxham and Edna Ella Eugene Thompson Bloxham. She died, I haven't said that, no. She died July the 12th, 2018. They had 2 children. My brother Ted, who passed away, has already passed. He was their beloved son. They thought so much of Ted. And then I'm the daughter. They had 10 grandchildren, 28 great-grandchildren, and then 2 great-great-grandchildren. I can't remember how many. And they loved their children and grandchildren. They served them. They did everything they could for Ted and me, and they do the same for the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren. Dad served went to the war, in World War II, started World War II, and he loved the service. We traveled for a few years after. He also was in the Korean conflict. No, World War III. But I had to learn to make a military bed. If I didn't do that and it wouldn't bounce, I was in trouble. So I get mad at my husband because he won't make the bed up in the morning. Mama was a Rebecca. She loved